guys, it's January 26th and I'm going to do the mixed media morsels technique number 5 today. I just finished filming a video for you where I worked in my 2015 calendar, and that's before this video if you want to go check it out. And we created an iCAD also in that same video using leftover paint, so that's in the video before. This video is about the mixed media morsels technique number 5 that Kathy has out. Cat Hand is doing a mixed media morsels technique series where she's taking techniques and showing them to you, and you can create your own little book as you go if you don't know about the group. There's a link below for the Facebook group and a link to her website, her YouTube channel for the playlist for the mixed media morsels techniques, and there's also a playlist link for the videos that other artists are doing, such as mine, that are going into her playlist. So you can go check all those out if you want to and play along. And then by the end of the time that she finishes the series, you'll have your own little book full of techniques and inspiration so that you can refer to it if you want to, or you can go back and create on the pages. I happen to create on the pages as I go because that's what I like to do. I have a hard time leaving pages blank. I did leave my first one blank, the plastic wrap technique. I'm going to go back and do something to that. I did go back later, which I did not film, and did the same technique on black background, which is black gesso and neon color paints. I like the way it came out, but I do have to say that I did not put enough paint on there. So if you're going to do this, I would suggest making it thicker with paint. A lot more paint. This worked out fine, but I would have preferred a lot more texture like this one. Anyway, so today is the tissue paper background technique, and I'm going to start off with a wad of tissue paper that came out of a shoebox actually, because there's a little bit of a blue edge, and I remember the other part of the tissue had some writing on it and stuff, and I've used it in a journal already, a journal page. And this is years ago, so I've had this forever. So I'm glad to be using it. So I'm going to wad this up. I'm going to wet down my glue like she tells you to do in her video. And I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to dry it, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a second before I go to the next step. So, all right, I'm going to go into fast forward. Okay, I've got my page dry and trimmed, and there's my texture. You can add to this if you've ripped your page or if you want more texture. I considered putting another coat down of glue and water and another layer of tissue, but then I decided no, I like it like this. It's just fine. So hopefully you can see it. I'm trying to angle it different ways so that the light catches it at some point. I can barely see there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is she took paint and she watered down her paint, and she put a coat of paint. Oops, I want to go this way. She put a coat of paint, watered down paint, across her page in the color that she wanted. So what I'm going to do next is find the paint color I want to use, and I'm going to go ahead and create just a little page out of this instead of leaving it plain. Okay, so I'll be back in a second as soon as I decide everything, and I'll let you know what I've done. I've chosen the color Antique White by Apple Barrel, and I'm just going to put some on my mat, and I'm going to water it down, grab a brush, and paint away. I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, let me show you the crinkles and the texture. The next thing she does is rub an ink pad over the top to put color on the raised crinkles, but I don't think I'm going to do that at this point. I want some white on here. This turned out a little bit more yellow beige than I thought. I've used this before on other things, but I think I had a mixture of white in it. Anyway, I want to put a white layer on top, kind of where I came from, but I don't want to cover it completely. I don't know if I want to use the card. That might be how I want to do it. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe a brush. Okay, that's more what I wanted. It's a little bit more a blend of white and off-white. So the next thing she does is she takes a StazOn or ink pad and rubs it across the top of the texture. I'm not sure if I want black or if I want brown, so I'm going to start with brown, and then if I don't like it, I'll just go over it with black, because I think I want brown. So let's try it and we'll see. Okay, I used the Timber Brown. I like it. I'm gonna leave it. I originally had wanted to use some flowers on here that are black and white, or actually off-white and black, but I changed my mind because I like the brown. I'm going to use different flowers. I don't want them too bulky because the book, I don't want it to get too bulky, although I don't care if it gets a little bulky. So I chose this yellow flower and this green flower that I had in my stash, and I'm going to put it all together and do it in fast forward for you. Hey guys, that's it. I'm gonna stop on this page. I think it turned out really cute. I like it. And all I did basically was everything that Kathy tells you to do in the video, where you put down the tissue paper with watered down glue, and then I dried it, and then I ran over it with a little bit of white. She didn't do this part. I did, because I wanted to add some white back to my color, because I used a color that was a little more yellow than I wanted. But then after it's dried, you run your ink pad over the top. I did that with Timber Brown StazOn. StazOn is a permanent ink. However, because this is a raised surface, when I rubbed it over, the ink was gathering on top of the little crinkles, and so it wasn't completely dry when I started putting on my butterflies, and I used a matte medium from Liquitex to apply the butterflies, because I wasn't going to cover the surface of this. I was going to leave it kind of a matte roughness. I didn't do that. I'll tell you about that in a second. But anyway, as I was putting the matte medium on the page for the butterfly, I noticed that the ink from the Timber Brown was smearing. Well, I could have stopped right then and let it dry some more, but I liked what it was doing. It gave it a distressed look, even more than I had originally started going for. So I went ahead and did the whole page instead of just the butterfly, adding the butterflies. And you saw me cut out leaves out of my extra deli paper, and then I went over with more paint and different colors and just kind of spruced them up a little bit. And I did the same with the flower. I added paint to the flower just to bring the paint in instead of having a synthetic flower sitting on the page. I could have raised the butterflies off the page some, but I didn't want to. I didn't want this to be too thick, but the flower was just enough, probably a little more than I really wanted with this on there, but it'll be okay. And I had extra paint left over on my fingers that was blue, so I went ahead and put some around the edges and everything and brought the blue in. So basically, you know, you saw what I did, and that's how I got it. It's not quite dry. I'm going to dry it some more, and we're done with tissue paper background technique number 5 for mixed media morsels. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you for the next video, the technique number 6, whenever it comes out. And in the meantime, for other things that I do, okay? All right, guys, see you later. Have a great day.